Yo, book nerds, I finished reading Free Lunch by Rex Ogle. This is a nonfiction middle grade young adult story. I would have thought it was middle grade, but it actually won an award for excellence in young adult nonfiction. So yeah, I guess it might be more YA. They definitely have some heavy topics in here, so I could see why it would be YA. So anyway, this is a memoir. The reason that I expected it to be middle grade is because this is about Rex growing up in his life in 6th grade. So that's the age that he is, but this book definitely hits on some really, really heavy things. There is a lot of talk about abuse, physical, mental abuse, and then Rex also has to deal with poverty. So him and his family are struggling to get by. His parents, his mom and his stepdad, they don't have jobs. They're barely scraping by, and he often doesn't have anything to eat. He's on the free lunch program at school and he's embarrassed about it. Whenever he's upset, he takes it out on his parents, and his parents take their frustration out on him too. And there is physical abuse. His stepdad beats on him and his mom beats on him too. There's a lot of name calling, which ties in with the mental abuse and emotional abuse. So there's some heavy, heavy stuff in this book. I really, really liked this book though, because I feel like I got a lot out of this book. As someone that's going to be a teacher, like knowing what Rex went through, it makes me more aware of what some of my students might be going through and how I can handle it and do better for them. I want to talk about a scene in here. So if you don't want to know anything about this book, here's your spoiler alert. But there is a scene in this that just like, as a mom, like upset me. Rex has a little brother who's 2.5, and Rex's mom and Rex are arguing and about the 2-year-old wanting mac and cheese. I believe it was mac and cheese. And Rex was saying it's his favorite, and the mom goes, he's 2.5, he doesn't have favorites. And one of my daughters is 2.5, and she definitely has favorites. And if you are a mom and you think your kid doesn't have favorites, like, wake up. They aren't just empty little shells. They have emotions and feelings and favorites. And oh my gosh, that upset me so much, just her saying that. Yeah, so I also connected to this because I have a daughter that is the same age as Rex's little brother. But then my boyfriend, Taylor, his daughter is also the same age as Rex. So she's 12 and Rex is 12. And so like I was reading this and I was just thinking of our 2 girls, because it was like, oh my gosh, like this is just not okay. I couldn't imagine our 12-year-old dealing with what he's dealing with in here. It's not okay. Like, for example, their parents left them alone for an entire weekend. Actually, it was for 4 days, so longer than a weekend. When Rex was 9 and his brother was 1. They left them alone for 4 days and didn't even have enough food in the house for them. Like they should have been taken away by Child Protective Services. Like, it is insanity. I can't imagine a mother doing that to her child. I want to believe that mothers are good, but not all mothers are good. I have to remind myself that because it's just terrible. And so often in this book, Rex would say things like, I don't want my little brother to see that. Nobody should have to see that. He shouldn't have to see that, when he's talking about like his mom being abused or him being abused. And Rex, you were 12. You shouldn't have had to see that. You should not have had to deal with any of that. I keep saying he's 12, but he was in 6th grade. I guess, I don't know if he was 11 or 12. But as a 6th grader, you shouldn't have to deal with that. Just like your brother, you're a child too. I just wanted to hug Rex so many times and love him the way he should have been loved. I wish that this book had hit on a little bit more of that, like that abuse is not okay, because I really didn't get that vibe when I left this book. The vibe that I got was that Rex tried to control what he could control, tried to control his reactions to things because that's all he had control over. He couldn't change his situation, which is good advice, except when you're getting abused, please go to somebody and get help because you don't need to stay in that situation. You don't deserve that. Like, I wish that had been hit on a little bit more in this, but that is my only complaint about this book. I really, really liked it. It was very eye-opening as someone who's going to be a teacher, and I just recommend it. Check it out. If you've read this, let me know your thoughts, and let me know if you enjoyed it like I did. Enjoy seems like the wrong word to use, but you know what I mean. Anyway, that's all for me this week. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Thanks for talking books with me.